What's good, YouTube? Today I'm going to be giving you the best Dribble God center build on NBA 2K26. It's got shooting, it's got playmaking, it's got defense, and of course it can rebound. It's going to be 6'11". You guys have probably been playing similar builds on the ones court, but this one is going to be an entirely different level. Let's get straight to it. And this is how you're going to be able to make it, okay? So you're going to put it at power forward. You're going to go to 6'11", 210 pounds. There we go. And then 6'11" for your wingspan. All right, and then to start this off, dude, it's going to have great physicals. 6'11", you're going to be fast, okay? So you're going to have a speed of all the way up to a 79. Your agility is going to be a 73. That's super high for a center. Or 6'11". Strength, you're gonna have it all the way up to a 79. 79, that's very high strength. You're obviously not as much as the inside bigs, but 79 strength, you're still stronger than small forwards still. So in this case of this build, you're gonna still dominate, especially on the ones. Vertical, 75. And one thing I wanted to say about the strength is I haven't really seen any post-scoring builds this year, or I did see them early on, but I haven't been seeing them recently, so I wouldn't be really that worried about the strength. Next, we're going to go over to the finishing. Finishing, it's you're an all-around finisher, okay? So you're going to have an 86 close shot, which is insane in my opinion. You're going to have a driving layup of 80, which is again insane. You're 6'11" with an 80 overall driving layup. I don't even think point guards put their layup this high. Driving dunk, you're gonna bring this up to an 87, so you do get contact dunks, the pro contact dunks. You're gonna put the standing dunk at 72. This unlocks the basic standing dunks. And then post control of 86. And the reason why we didn't put the standing dunk as high and as high as the other attributes is because this build is more of off the dribble, but just making it high enough to still get those standing dunks just in case you need a quick bucket like that. Of course, we still have the 72. For the shooting, you're going to bring it up all the way to 91 overall, which is absolutely insane for a 6'11". So you're going to be able to get all these badges, but we're going to go over the badges in just a second. 3-pointer, you're going to bring this all the way up to a 90. Having that at a 90 is absolutely insane. I've been using my 6'11" build with a 90 overall 3-point shot, and it's so much easier than a point guard to shoot. For some reason, jump shots for centers, they're just so fluent and so good. I will give you a jump shot later in the video, so stay for that. Free throw, it's an 82 overall, so obviously you can use this build in the rec. Pass accuracy, you're going to put it all the way up to a 71. Of course, 71 isn't a crazy, attribute, but you can use cap breakers if you really wanted to bring that up. But I haven't really had much trouble with that. Ball handle, you're gonna bring this up to a 75. This is gonna unlock all those super really good dribble moves that you see everybody doing. You get that Giannis crossover and all those things from doing this. Speed of ball, all the way up to a 68. So look at that. I mean, just so far before we even do defensive rebounding, we're fast, we have a vertical, we get contact dunks, we have that close shot, we get solid standing dunk, good post control, we can shoot from deep, shoot fades, and we get all the best dribble moves for our height that we can ever get in the game. And then defensive wise, this isn't going to be a super dominant defensive build, but in general in this game, I kind of feel if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. Even on my tall guard builds, I'll have a 92 perimeter, and I'll jump at somebody, and if I'm there, I get a contest. If I'm even a foot away and I jump, I still don't get a contest. So it's kind of crazy. If you're in the right spot, you're gonna get the contest. So interior is 74, perimeter will be a 71, and I'll let you guys know about why we have it at that 71 in just a minute. Steal at 60, so it gets that first badge, and then a block of 84. So obviously the defense still, you might look at this and you're like, that doesn't look that good. No, I promise you, the 84 block on a 6'11", you're going to be getting blocks, you're going to be getting contests. For the offensive rebound, you're going to bring this up to a 60 overall. Obviously, on the ones court, you don't use the offensive rebound. If you miss, it's automatically the other person's ball. So there's no reason to be really worrying about that much. But of course, if you're on the twos or something, then you're probably going to want to use some cap breakers on that. And then for defensive rebound, you're going to bring that all the way up to that 80 overall. So now this is the complete build, but we're going to go over the badges to just show you how truly insane this build is, and maybe where you should be able to use that max +1. All right, so we're literally just going to start with the finishing. Okay, so for the finishing, you're going to get that Paint Prodigy on silver. And then honestly, I don't really care about either of the other two, but Paint Prodigy is very, very important, and you do get that on silver. For the driving layup, you do get that physical finisher on silver, which is absolutely insane, by the way, super duper good, and the layup mixmaster on bronze while being a big man. For the driving dunk, you do get that silver posterizer. That is like the most common posterizer in this game, unless you go all the way up to a 93, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. Standing dunk, you still get that rise up on bronze, which is why we put it at that 72. If you go any lower, you lose that rise up, so make sure that's on 72. And then for the post control, here it is, man. This is one of my favorite parts of this build. You get the Hall of Fame post fade phenom. If you haven't been watching recently, this is kind of the new cheese in this game. Basically, like any time where you're getting locked up and you haven't pulled it out yet, so like don't just do it like every single time. It's not that cheesy, but if you haven't done it yet and then you just suddenly just stop and fade backwards, that's auto green every single time, and it's just as easy as like shooting a regular midi fade, so like super duper good. Mid-range and three-pointer, we get that post fade phenom, of course, that we just talked about, but then we also get that silver limitless range. I think it's just totally fine. A gold limitless range doesn't really feel that much different, so that silver just feels absolutely amazing. And then of course you get the gold set shot specialist and the gold shifty shooter. For me personally, I use the first +1 on the set shot specialist to get that to Hall of Fame, and then when I get the next +1, I use it on the shifty shooter to get it to Hall of Fame also. So for the ball handle, you're going to get strong handle, you're going to get unpluckable, and then you're going to get handles for days on bronze, which means that you're not going to get stripped and you're going to be able to dribble for longer amounts of time. Also, handles for days is in that tier 2, so you're going to be able to use that max +1 to then get silver handles for days. Pass accuracy, of course, is 71. That unlocks that bronze or that silver dimer, which is super duper important. And then you get the versatile visionary and the break starter, which are both very important. Now here is my favorite part, actually, I think, of explaining the build, because honestly, the defense is where it truly is. The 74 interior defense gets you that paint patroller on silver, which I think is just absolutely insane and great. And also at that 74, you unlock that post lockdown. For the perimeter defense, you get the immovable enforcer. I mean, you literally are a 6'11 big, and you're getting defensive badges for the perimeter. You also get challenger, which is the best badge in the game for perimeter defense, because it allows you to get really good effective contests. Your steal, you're going to be able to get that interceptor. You're sadly not going to get that glove, but honestly, I'm not seeing too many on ball steals this year, so honestly I just gave up on that glove and said, hey, we need that interceptor, and we got it. For the block, we have the high flying denier. That is probably the most important badge for, other than the paint patroller, of course, for defense. And bam, we got it on silver. For rebounding, we got box out beast on silver and rebound chaser on silver, so don't worry about not being able to get a rebound. You're gonna be able to get the rebound, okay? Well, first of all, you're gonna be using this build for on the ones, so I mean, you're probably not gonna be using it for rebounds, but if you are trying to use it for rebounds on the twos, I still made it versatile enough and give you an 80 overall defensive rebound, and that's going to be very well and good enough on the twos because you're going to be 6'11". And then of course, all the physicals over here, they're very strong, they're very good for that 6'11". We're fast and everything, and obviously it unlocks all the badges that we needed that physicals to do. These are my current animations for the build, okay? I absolutely love this build. There's some people who have slightly different things than this. Of course, you guys can go look at other YouTubers if you guys do not feel comfortable with the ones that I'm using. But I personally, this is the ones I use. The crossover, I would recommend using Giannis. Right now I'm using Pro, just trying to test it out. It's kind of clunky crossover, as Giannis is like very, very fast and it like speed boost. I was just trying to look for something else because I already have these that do speed boost. And I was thinking like maybe one that's like more about actually getting ankle breakers and things for videos and things like that. That would be great. But right now I'm using Pro as my crossover. Also remember, in the scoring moves category, these are the best ones. Obviously, if you guys are looking at this, you can tell Kevin Durant is by far the best animations in this game. Literally, I use it for everything, between dribble moves, jump shot, literally everything. he just, you know, in real life, he is the dribble god of it, like of real life for big men. So, I mean, it just makes sense. For the motion style, I use Bol Bol. I don't know if this is like super duper like regular, like I don't know if a lot of people use it, but I absolutely. For the jump shot creator, this is my favorite one by far. I mean, I literally just flick it up right when it hits my head and it's green every single time. Just make sure that you put it on release, you have the release speed on 4 of 4, and then your animation blending is 36% LaMarcus Aldridge and then 64% Baluba. Michael Porter Jr. is by far the base base for centers because it's actually made for tall guards. So, you know, if you're a 6'11", 7-footer, then you could still unlock the Michael Porter Jr. jump shot. And then, of course, without even saying it, the dunk packages, just make sure that they are safe. There's no like cockbacks or anything like that, and make sure that you put on that pro contact dunk. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.